Sí, sí, Calambur existe. Entonces, por ejemplo, sería...
Hi kids, today we are gonna do a review about the topic repeating addition. Because the last session I had some problems of audio and video, so I'm going to repeat some information, right? Okay, and before starting, we have to take into account some keywords that are related to our topic repeating addition, okay? So let's start. The first is equal groups. What can you see here? There are how many groups can you see here? How many elements are in each group? We are gonna answer one by one of the questions. The first one, how many groups can you see? There are two groups. How many totals in this case are in each group? 1, 2, 3, and 4, 3, 4. There are 4 groups in group number 2. What can you observe? That we have 2 groups and each group has 4 totals, right? So there are 2 groups and each group has 4 totals. This is the word equal groups. So each group has the same number of objects. So let's check. The next keyword is arrays. Arrays. Put into rows, yes, or horizontal lines that go from one side to another side, like this, go side to side, rows. And then we have columns. Columns go from up to down. So we have go up and down, right? And this is an array, right? Look, put into rows and columns, right? Let's check. Okay. The third clue word is repeated addition. Repeated addition is to add the same number of adding. We can say number of adding over and over again. In this case, we are adding number 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. We are adding 3, we are adding the number 3 or the adding 3 4 times. With repeated addition, we can find faster the total number of objects. Later on, you can replace a repeated addition for a multiplication to find easier and faster the total number of objects in each group or in a group. The fourth or the next keyword is skip count or skip counting, right? So to skip count, we have to count objects in equal groups of 4 or more. Let's check this number pattern. In this number pattern, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That means that we have to add each time 2. So we have to count by 2s to find out the next number. I have a question for you. What about the line number 3, the number sequence number 3? Which will be the number pattern to find out the next number? That means that we have to count by 2s, by 3s, by 5s to find out the next number. Let's check. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So we have to count each time. We have to add each time 3, right? 3 plus 3, 6. Yes. 6 plus 3, 9. 9 plus 3, 12. 12 plus 3, 15. 15 plus 3, 18. That what are we doing? We are counting, right? And this is the key word, skip count. That means count objects in equal groups of 2s, of 5s, or 3s, and so on, right? Look at this. Okay. Now, kids, let me show you this exercise. Did you remember? Look at this exercise. In this exercise, I didn't send this exercise to you in the PowerPoint presentation. No, the exercise that we are gonna do is to get a better understanding about the homework that you had to present, that you had to do, right? So let me show you this. We have to write how many columns and rows each array has, right? Remember, we have to practice with this exercise. We are practicing the concept about rows and columns, right? Remember that we have here, to find out the answer, we have to check again the concept. We have to check the concept, columns and rows and arrays, right? So remember, we have here columns and rows. Remember, columns go from up to down. So how many columns do we have? 1 and 2. We have 2 columns, right? 2 columns that go from up to down. And then we are going to find out how many rows are here. So we have 1, 2, and 3. We have 3 rows, horizontal lines, right? So we have 2 columns, 3 rows. Let's check this exercise. In this exercise is asking us how many columns and how many rows can we or can you see, right? So columns, remember, go from up to down. Now we have 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, and 4 columns, right? We have 4 columns. And then we are going to check, we are going to find out how many rows are here. So 1 row, 2 rows, and 3 rows. That means that we have 4 columns and 3 rows. Got it? I'm going to leave this 1 minute to check.
Sí, pero hay otra superior.
Okay. Remember, I didn't send this activity in a PowerPoint presentation. No, this is an exercise. This is a practice time. Yes, to get a better understanding, to get better. There are 2 rows, right? Rows. Right? Okay. Next, 3. There are 3 columns. Okay? We have here 3 columns. And then we have how many rows? Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 rows. You see? Horizontal lines. Horizontal lines, horizontal lines, horizontal lines. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have here 3 columns, 5 rows. Got it? And the last one is how many columns? Can you see? 1 and 2 columns. We have 2 columns. And how many rows? 1, 2. We have 2 columns, 2 rows, right? Okay. Now, let me show you the homework that you had, right? We are going to check the homework. But before, please check this example. This is an example of the homework that you had to do. We have, how can we read this equation? This is a multiplication sentence, right? So the best way or the right way to read it is 4 times 5, right? We have to say times. 4 times 5, right? Please remember, 4, the first number, yes, in this case is 4, will be the number of rows that we have to take into account. In this case, how many rows do we have to do? So, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes, we have 4 rows, right? Look.
Le gusta Barranquilla. Le gusta Barcelona, no hay metáforas.
Okay. And then we have here,
no.
And 5 has to be the number of objects in each group. In this case, how many elements can we see here? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? Okay, let's check. This is a previous activity to check the homework, okay? This is the previous activity to check the homework. Okay? Are you listening to me?
Hello?
It's clear?
Hello?
Don't worry. If you arrive late, you can repeat this video the times that you want. Okay, let's check. Now, kids, I'm gonna show you the homework, okay? You have to use paintings, but if you don't have paintings at home, don't worry. You can use anyway markers, right? So we have here 3 times 4, right? Are you listening? Are you with me? Okay, now 3 times 4. So what do we have to take into account? That number 3 has to be the number of rows. So that means that we have 1, 2, and 3. We have 3 rows, right? And how many dots in this case do we have to put? We have to put 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's check the second activity. Okay. How can we read this one? This equation? We have to read this equation like 5 times 2 times. That means that we have to organize 5 groups, and in each group we have to put 2 dots. Group number 1, group number 2, group number 3, group number 4, and group number 5. Yes, we have to, let me see. Okay. We can see here. Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We have 5 rows, and in each row we have to put 2 dots. Okay? Let's check. So please compare with your homework and then correct if it's necessary. If you don't have a printer, don't worry. You can charts in your math notebook using pencil, and then you can solve the exercise. And if you can't print it, so let's continue with next exercise. How can we read this? 2 times 4 times. This is the right way to understand the equation, right? So we have, how many rows do we have to draw? How many groups or how many rows? 2 rows. Okay? Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many dots do we have to write? How many dots? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? Next. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have here 2 rows of yes, of 4 elements in each group, right? Excellent, very good. So, how many dots can you see in total? How many dots are here? Kids, who wants to write the answer? 2 times 4. So, 2 times 4. Who wants to write the answer? Excellent. If you can watch me clear and if you can listen to me clear, please. Excellent. Very good. Okay, let's check. Please compare with your homework and then write a small tick like this. If it's right, please write a small tick. Okay? Remember, I'm going to repeat this. Right? I'm going to repeat this. Remember, this is a multiplication sentence. This is an equation. Yes? And then remember, 4 times 5 is the right way to read the equation. Times. Okay? The first number is the number of rows. The first number has to be the number of rows. In this case, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Right? 4. And number 5 is the number of objects in each group. 1, 2, 3 wrote that they couldn't listen clear. Okay, so I'm repeating, right? I'm repeating the explanation. Let's continue. Let's continue with the next exercise. Okay, we have here 1 times 5. This is the equation. How many rows do we have to write, or how many groups? Only 1. Okay, and how many dots? How many dots do we have to draw? How many dots? How many dots? Excellent, very good. 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? We have only one row, only one group of 5 dots in each line, in the line. Okay? Very good. Excellent. Very good. Congratulations. Now, next. The next one. 3 times 3. How many rows or how many groups do we have to do? Do we have to draw? How many groups? How many rows? How many? Now here, how many? In this case, 3 times 3. Excellent. Very good. We have to make 3 groups. Okay. Very good. Now, how many dots do we have to draw? Very good. We have to make 3 groups of 3 dots. 1, 2, 3. One group. 1, 2, 3. Second group. 1, 2, 3. Third group. So we have 3 groups of 3 dots. Please compare and then check and write a small red tick or a tick. Chin, chin. Next. 5 times 5. Check this out. 5 times 5. Okay? We have how many groups or how many rows do we have to write? How many rows in this one? Okay, very good. 5. 1. Of how many dots? We have to make 5 groups, have 5 rows. Okay, perfect. Somebody find out the answer. Very good. Now, 5 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 groups. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 groups. And the answer is 5 times 5 equals 2. 5 times 5 equals 2. Equals 2. Very good. 25. So we have to write here 25. Okay? Very good. Excellent. Please, if you want, in front of each equation, you can write the answer, right? The total number of dots. Like this, 3 times 3 or 1 times 5, right? For example, this one, 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is or equals to. Okay, now check this. 3 times 3. The answer is very good. Excellent. Very good. Okay, excellent class. We are going to, very good, excellent. Please, in your notebooks, you can write in front of each equation the answer, right? So, I'm going to repeat faster the keywords that we checked before, because some of you couldn't watch from the beginning of the video, okay? So, remember, equal groups when we have the same number of elements in each group, right? Each group has the same number of objects, right? The next keyword is arrays, right? That we have to put into rows and columns. Yes. The next one was repeated additions. That means you have to repeat over and over the number, okay? In this case, we had to repeat 1, 2, 3, 4 times the number 3. This is a repeating addition. That we are replacing repeating addition for multiplication, right? How can we represent this in a multiplication sentence? How can we replace this? We can replace this like so, very good. You see? Yes. Very good. Now, this one, skip count or skip counting. Okay? Now we have, remember that we have to count objects in equal groups of 2 or more. In this case, we are counting by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on. Okay? So please, no, it's not mandatory. If you don't want to copy the answer, don't do that. Okay? It's not mandatory. Okay, kids? See you next class. Bye.
Y eso, bueno, también es para recordarles que
that's all for today.
Que estas evaluaciones en línea que estoy haciendo también son el preámbulo para los exámenes finales que también se van a hacer en línea, ¿no? Entonces va